Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin, and I've got an open box video for you. We've got a bunch of dollars to show you today, starting with this 1879.0. 1879.0 is a little bit tougher date. The second year of the Morgan dollars, and the New Orleans coin was a little bit tougher to come by. You'll notice on the coin that it's fully lustrous and doesn't have any signs of wear. Typically, if you see break in the luster over the eagle's feathers or something like that, that'll be signs of wear. It does have a lot of little contact marks throughout the field. In pretty much every region of the coin has some contact marks to it. So, nice uncirculated coin. Came back a mint state 63, which is the grade I was looking for. This coin's probably about $200, $225. One of the things I haven't talked about much with you guys is that PCGS and NGC both have different tiers that you can send stuff to them in a different price range. So usually if you go with the less expensive coin, they'll have the coin longer. It'll take longer to get it. It also takes longer if they're shut down for COVID, but that's only at PCGS, who recently just opened back up. But anyway, let's move on to this coin, this 1880.0 Morgan, similar to the 79.0, and some of those earlier New Orleans mint coins are actually kind of tough to get in nicer uncirculated grades. This coin has a lot of chatter to it, a lot of contact marks. Overall, pretty pleasing coin as far as the luster goes. But you can see all those little contact marks throughout the field. A lot on the cheeks in the open field. And this one came back a mint state 62. And this coin is probably only about $135. I kind of was hoping to get another 63 out of this coin. I thought the two coins were fairly comparable. It's closer to $300 in 63, so that's kind of a dinger on that one. This coin, all right, so this coin here, right away, if you look, and you've watched some of my videos on what to look for on coins with cleaning, you'll see these lines right through here that move real sharp straight across there. As I tilt the coin in the light, they'll pop up right there. See them dance up and down here as we turn it in the light. That's from a cleaning. And then you can see it on this side too, cleaning. Those are all real fine hairlines all over the surface of the coin. Now I still sent this coin in even though I knew it was cleaned, because it's an 84S. You can see the cleaning lines pretty dramatic on the back of the coin. They dance everywhere on this coin. It's actually one of the nicer grade of 84S's I've had. I mean, the luster itself is nearly complete. It's really probably a high grade AU, and they did call it AU details cleaned. It's a tricky coin to price. I'll probably just put it on eBay. You know, an AU 58 is, like a $1,400 coin, and a low end AU is only about 175. So it's got this big jump to it. Next up, an 83, also San Francisco mint mark. Now this coin is interesting because this coin definitely didn't come back kind of how I thought it would come back. Sometimes coins, depending on their strike, have a really misleading look to them. So this coin has kind of like a proof-like finish to it, and it's also got, lots of disruptions in the field, so to speak. I don't know how to describe it necessarily, but it kind of has a proof-like look to it. And I thought the coin would come back just an AU. Like, I kind of thought, okay, they could call it cleaned, but I think that it's all good. The lines on here, which are different from the lines on the other coin, this is where it gets tricky. A lot of the lines up here that you see above the eagle, those lines, you see how they don't continue through the eagle's head? Those are not actually cleaning lines. Those lines are in the planchet themselves. So, that's kind of tricky, and that's one of those things you learn over time when you're looking at Morgans or coins in general. So they call this Unk details cleaned, which is really interesting to me. I thought it would just come back like a nice AU58 with, it had a little bit of a proof-like feel to it. Kind of a neat coin overall. An AU is about a $300 coin, and UNC's about a $900 coin. So I sent it in on the cheaper rate because I thought it would come back the AU. Next up, we have a 97O. Must have been the day for the New Orleans coins for me here. And this one's kind of tricky. It's a coin that jumps in value from AU to UNC, and if you look at the back, looks fairly well uncirculated. Like doesn't look like it has any wear to it. And then the front, the obverse of the coin, that's where you get a little sign of wear on the cheek, and the eyebrow and the hair. Really a judgment call on that one. This one came back in AU58, and this is a coin that I think we graded right. I think it's about a $250 coin in AU58, and that's for NGC. Their slower rate, you have to send it in. The coin has to be valued at $300 or less. So that's kind of one of the things to look at. And another rare date, O Mint 1886 O. This is a coin that uncirculated is $700 or $800, just an MS60. And then in AU, it's about, I think about $250 or so. This one came back in AU58, similar to that 87O, where it looks like it's uncirculated from a distance. You can see kind of the breaks, though, in the field luster on the obverse of the coin. Overall, real pleasing coin, just with the slightest sign of wear to it. Next up, we should just call this the AU58 brigade. Let me just show you right now. This is 90cc, came back AU58. So these are all coins that you have bigger jumps in value if you get them uncirculated. And most of them, though, I think they're easier to sell certified in these grades. These are the type of coins that maybe you'll see on eBay and people try to sell them as uncirculated, but they're not. You'll see that little mark to the right of the eagle. And for those of you who watch my channel and subscribe, we've had conversations about scratches, what's a scratch and what's not a scratch. And that looked quite a bit like a scratch. Overall, once again, a coin that appears to be new to the naked eye for someone who's not a collector. You can really see, though, on this one especially, where that bright white luster is just gone from the field, and it kind of has that darker blue look. That's from just the slightest amount of wear. You can't really see wear physically. The wear breaks through the luster before it actually affects the surface of the coin. And last but not least, 1901. This is one of the scarcest Philadelphia coins. Really a rare date, 1901 from Philly. And an AU is like $160, and AU58's like $900. And overall, this coin really has a nice look to it. It's kind of, this is what can make grading so hard sometimes, is they call this AU details, and they call this cleaned. And if you look at this next to this 90cc, you got two coins that are extremely close in appearance, right? So they've got similar kind of marking to it, similar looks. So there's different types of cleaning, of course. You can have a coin that has those big hairlines like we saw earlier, and then there's coins that have been wiped with a cloth, and so they kind of have a brighter polished look. Of course, that look can come naturally also from a coin that's been in someone's pocket for a long time. So interestingly enough, I actually thought this coin was going to come back like a 53 or 55. it has a little bit more wear to it than some of the other ones do. I was a little disappointed they called it clean because honestly, it's very comparable if you start holding it up next to some of these other coins as far as what the overall condition is. So anyway, I'm Ben the Coin Geek. Thanks for watching. Leave your comments in the chat box below. Please subscribe by clicking on the button in the corner of the screen, and you can watch some more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.